There's something strangely thrilling about fixing something that doesn't feel broken. My old keyboard worked just fine. I used it every day for years, typing, gaming, working. But one day I realized it lacked something. Character. With all the options out there, it was hard to find one that would fit my wants. That's when the idea hit me. What if I built my own? It started innocently enough. A casual browse on Facebook Marketplace. That's where I found it. The Yunzii AL75. Barebones. Aluminum. $20. It had potential, but it was still a gamble. Would it work? Could I make it work? That's where this journey begins. The Yunzii AL75 became my canvas. Its premium aluminum frame gave it weight, quite literally. This thing is hefty in the best way. Solid, sturdy, a reminder of the kind of quality that's rare in mass-produced keyboards.
They sure don't make these like they used to.
At 75%, it was compact enough to free up desk space, but still practical for everything I needed. But a barebones board was just the beginning. The real magic came from the switches and keycaps. I wanted something that was quiet, almost meditative. That's why I went with the Akko Penguin Silent switches. They're tactile, but near silent, designed for smooth, uninterrupted typing. The name is very fitting. They're sleek and unassuming, just like penguins. And installing them one by one was oddly calming. Tedious, sure, but isn't that the point? To take the time and do things right? Then there were the keycaps. I chose the Womier Great Wave keycaps because they were budget friendly, but also aesthetically pleasing. Each keycap looks like a tiny piece of art. I wanted my keyboard to be more than functional. I wanted it to be something I'd actually want to look at every day. And these keycaps delivered. The cherry profile was new to me, but as soon as I started typing, I knew I made the right choice. The shape, the feel, it just worked. The building process. Building a keyboard isn't hard, but it's not exactly easy either. It's the kind of work that forces you to slow down. Every switch, every keycap. You also have to know and do a lot of research. The time involved in that is kind of crazy what I was actually researching before I took this on. It all has to be installed by hand. There's no rushing it, and that's the beauty of it. You're not just assembling something, you're building it piece by piece with intention. A true art, just like the Great Wave. I got a phone call.
Phone calls? Ugh.
As the board started coming together, I could see it transforming from parts into something cohesive. Sure, there were challenges. My design of the Yunzii AL75 wasn't quite as stunning as I originally hoped, but honestly, I wish I had a home button for video editing. That's the #1 thing that I miss and probably why I'm going to be switching back to a full-size keyboard. I know I could swap hotkeys, but maybe it's just habit, I don't know. These were just small hurdles in the grand scheme of things. The process itself, it was rewarding in a way that I didn't expect. There's something deeply satisfying about watching your vision come to life, even if it's just a keyboard.
Moment of truth.
Finally, the build was complete. I plugged it in, I turned it on, and I typed for the first time. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just a keyboard anymore, it was an extension of me. Every switch, every keycap. It all came together into something that felt unique, personable. Typing on it was smooth, quiet, deliberate. For the first time, I actually enjoyed typing, something I'd never thought about before. In fact, writing this script was one of the most satisfying experiences I've ever experienced when it comes to computer technology. The Womier keycaps gave every keystroke a satisfying touch, while the Akko Penguin Silent switches kept everything whisper quiet. I could work, write, or game without worrying about the noise. And the cherry profile, it just felt so natural, like my hands had always been meant to type this way. For $50, this keyboard wasn't just a bargain, it was a revelation. A way to experience technology and accessories in a way that I didn't think possible. Something you truly have to experience to fully understand what I'm even saying. If this is you, comment below. But let's talk about why it matters. Because here's the thing, building this keyboard wasn't just about having a better typing experience. or removing old cables from my desk. It was about the process, about slowing down and putting thought into something I use every single day. It made me realize how often we settle for good enough without thinking about what better might actually look like. And sometimes better isn't about the results. It's about how you get there, the process, the journey. The imperfections in this build, the clunky software, the design quirks, they didn't ruin it. They gave it more character. They reminded me that this build was my first build, and that's okay because the point wasn't perfection. It was about learning, creating, experimenting, the journey, about truly understanding what it takes to build a keyboard and to be able to replicate this in the future. I'm gonna carry that with me for the rest of my life. I've added typing sounds throughout this video, but we need a real sound test. Quiet, smooth, meditative, just like a wave. It's not clacky or creamy or any of the other terms people throw around in the keyboard community that I honestly have no clue about. It's just peaceful, and that's exactly what I wanted. Now I get it. I get why people obsess over their keyboards, why entire communities exist around this hobby. It's not just about the keyboard itself, it's about the experience of building something that's uniquely yours. It's about taking something ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary. This build has already changed the way I think about my workspace. My desk feels less cluttered, more intentional, and it's inspired me to think about what next steps I can take. Something that can truly elevate my desk to the next level, to clear it up, to be more intentional with my workspace. I'm thinking maybe a full-size keyboard with a home button for video editing, as I mentioned before. Maybe something with more customization, you know, like a knob. I know everybody loves knobs, but they have their functional use, so I get it. Honestly, I don't even know what I would do though if I had a knob on my keyboard, maybe for scrolling through a timeline. I think Blackmagic makes things like that they sell to consumers who use their software. But really the possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this hobby so exciting. For anybody watching this, wondering if you should build your own keyboard, my answer is simple. Do it. Start small, start simple, but start. You'll learn so much through this process just as I did. It's not about keyboards either, it's about yourself, about patience, creativity, and experimentation. And the joys of making something that you've built with your own two hands. And to the brands out there, Yunzii, Keycron, Newfie, if you're listening, I'm ready to take this to the next level. Let's make something happen. Let's work together. Let's build it so I can offer this to the people watching this video. Maybe we could actually work on something like a bare bones kit that comes with everything in it, so you could even build the keyboards even if they are mass produced. Just a thought. So here it is, my first custom keyboard. A project that started with curiosity and ended as something I'm quite generally fond of. If this video has inspired you, or if you've already started your own keyboard journey, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and then hit the bell icon so we can keep exploring these things together. And here is the rest of my genuine reaction while building this keyboard. Akko Penguin Silent switches, 45 count of them. This is silent, basically. Seems to have been a good choice. We'll see. Womier Keycaps. I wanted to go something with an aesthetic but also budget friendly. That's how I found these keycaps. Kind of like it. We'll see what it looks like on the rest of the build. But honestly, this has been my favorite part of the whole build. I ended up getting this for $20. The Yunzii AL75. Solid aluminum build. This has got a hefty build to it, a big battery. We got USB Type-C. We can use Bluetooth, 24 gigahertz with this USB dongle that comes included. Yeah, it feels premium, if I had to say. I don't know much about this stuff, but if I had to say it, probably it's one of the better keyboards for this type, but we'll get to building. These click in real nicely. It's pretty easy, actually. I think anybody would be able to do this. Fortunately, my computer is not Bluetooth compatible. I was thinking about getting a Bluetooth card to be able to do something like this, to have it work properly. You can see we have a gasket layer here as well. Before I go too crazy here, I kind of want to test some of these keycaps. I do like that it's not as clicky. So these really are silent switches. It's a positive, that's what I was aiming for. We'll see how it truly sounds when everything's put together. We'll do a sound test at the end. Wasn't really sure what switches to get, but I heard good things about Akko on Reddit, and I decided to give them a try. I was also between the Khalil switches, one of their silent ones, the professional premium ones. Forgot what they're actually called. It's one box, time to fill some B-roll. Definitely a premium feel even putting these switches in. I was kind of skeptical on this at first, but then again, these companies, this is what they do. Just about have all the switches in. After we'll put our keycaps on and give this a test. I don't know, yeah, you know, I've always kind of thought about like when these were first becoming mainstream, building your own keyboard. I know that they were pretty expensive, but if you do something like this, you can do this pretty inexpensive. I've done this for about $50, so I ended up finding a good deal on this barebones keyboard. Paid about under $30 for these switches on Black Friday sales. Yeah, and then the keyboard caps, I went with a budget option to just kind of have something fill this in. I found one locally for $5, but there were some frogs and I wasn't going for that aesthetic, at least not right now. All right, let's add what we can. Insert, page up, page down, delete. How does this keyboard not have a home button? You're gonna have everything but the home button on it. This is why I had a problem with shorter keyboards, but I really wanted to try something that was a non-full-size keyboard because maybe I thought I was stuck in my own, great, I have to use this attachment. Stuck in my own ways thinking that a full-size keyboard is too much. Maybe I'd try something different and see how I felt about that after I used one. How the hell do these come out of here? Just like that. Not good when keycaps go flying. So I was thinking this fish would go this way, but looking at these and the way that these are shaped, it actually goes this way. One reason why I like this keyboard as well is this escape key. Look at how nice that looks. Different. It's pretty much about the same sound as my current keyboard, I believe, which is actually a thinner keyboard without all that mechanically sounds. These are cherry keycaps, I believe. FN. I'm gonna have to use a shorter shift key on this side. I believe I have one of these other ones over here. Not really sure what size it actually is. Can I go one size up? Looks like I can go one size up. Pulled the whole switch out. It's kind of funny. Yeah, that's looking more accurate for size. Hopefully it's not gonna butt up with this question mark key. Let's find out. Nope, looks like that's the size we're gonna want. One thing interesting I didn't even realize when I bought this keyboard is that it actually has the Japanese characters on each of the keys. It's definitely another unique feature. I know a lot of people like that. I'm not really sure why if you're not really native Japanese or typing in Japanese often. So you can kind of see this aesthetic of this board coming together. I'm not really sure what I was looking for. I guess budget was number one, but I think I'll be happy with this for the time being. The nice thing about customizable keyboards like this is that you can just change anything you want when you want. Could change this whole keyboard layout, all the switches, go for a different sound, feel, aesthetic. And yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to just try it, do something unique. I like building and creating things, so thank you for watching this video and tuning along as subscribing, and thanks for tuning in. Share this video if you know anybody else who would like it. This is quite the process though to do all this. I guess it's not that long, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes. Yeah, about half an hour I guess I'd say, doing all this. But I'm also filming, so I might add extra time into it as well. Yeah, you can feel the keycaps shape changing as you go down the keyboard. And I guess this is one of the fan favorites for layouts and feel is this cherry layout, I believe. Might need to correct that if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a silent keyboard. I'm a fan of it. Probably not giving the full effect here. Let me get the microphone here. So here you can see the aesthetic of the board I was going for. We're probably gonna go connect this into the computer then and see how this works. But I'm a fan of the layout. It's a little bit more different than I thought, but honestly I cannot complain for a first keyboard for this price. So we're gonna go try it. If I do this again, I might try to go for a more regular style look on the keycaps. But we'll see. But this keyboard ended up being real nice actually. I love the feel of it, love typing on it already. We'll see how it goes as time goes on, but I'm impressed with the overall build quality of this. And in fact, you can actually get this keyboard from Yunzii on Black Friday discount if you're watching this video. Also, to reduce some of the clutter, I ended up installing a fresh new version of Windows 11. Here's actually my desk setup, and in the process of redoing my computers and servers, I've been wanting to redo my desk setup as well. As you can see, I started by reducing the clutter on my computer by doing a fresh install of Windows 11. And I've had plenty of cables. I actually have a cable for my headphones, cable for my mouse, cable for my keyboard, and so in the process I just wanted to downsize, and I'm probably going to do the same with my mouse, but I'm no longer going to be going wired on certain things, so I wanted to change and redo my setup. I also wanted to add a new pad for my desk. As you can see, I just have a custom wood top, but I wanted something to kind of protect that a little bit more and also offer better movement with mouse and other things going on here. So we're going to open this and put it out. You can see how that kind of changes the space already here. This is just a budget one on Amazon. But I know that there's other higher cost ones, but I didn't want to go too crazy with it. And I always preferred the felt mouse pads for like gaming and other things. So we'll see how that goes. I also debated on leather, but I might end up switching. I'm curious how my other wireless mouses work, like this Apple mouse or Magic Key mouse as well. These mice are so weird, I ended up having to 3D print an extra thing for them for my hand, but curious how these wireless mouses will operate on here as well, so we'll try them out. But yeah, that's kind of my keyboard and what I wanted to do for this video, so thanks for tuning in. If anybody has any questions on this or things they want to talk about or let me know, drop them in the comments below and we can discuss. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you would have done differently, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you on the next video.